Hi, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the second part of citations, which is the in-text citations. If you haven't done the other assignment on the references page, then do that first, and then come to this. We'll talk about the in-text citations. So just to review very quickly, these are the different things you need to cite. Basically, anything you got anywhere, direct quote, indirect quote, and a fact, statistic, example, summaries, somebody's theory, all of that needs to be cited. So the other important fact that we really need to keep in mind, this is an important conceptual thing, that you've got two citations. You've got your works cited or your references page, and that's what guides you to the real world. Lets your reader find the article out there in the world. And then your in-text citations, which is what we're talking about today, that's what guides you to your works cited or your references page. That's what guides you to that. So today we're going to be focusing on this. How to cite in the body of the essay. It's so simple. You put the author's last name, the date of publication, and the page number. That's it. Okay, that's it. Now, the page number is required only for print material. If what you're citing is online and does not have page numbers, then you don't need the page numbers. If it's an online PDF that has page numbers, go ahead and put those page numbers in. But normally you don't need page numbers, you don't need paragraph numbers, you don't need anything else. If it's online, you're just going to put the author's last name and the date of publication. That's APA. MLA is even simpler. You don't need the date of publication. But that's it. All right. Now, there are a couple special notes. No page numbers for online sources, unless, like I said, it was a PDF. If there's no author, use the first words of the title. Very often there's no author. And in that case, don't put the name of the magazine, don't put the name of the website, don't put any of that. Put the title, the first words of the title. You don't even need the whole title, just the first word or two of the title. In general, don't give the name of the publication or website. Sometimes people will do that just to show a high status, like if it's something, the New England Journal of Medicine, that's an impressive journal, you might put that in. But typically, you don't even put the name of the publication or the website. Just the author's last name, date of publication, and that's it. Very simple. Let's look at some samples, okay? So here's number one. Researchers have confirmed that parents living in poverty are more likely to yield to the children's request for a treat than wealthy parents are. Calarco, 2018. That's it. Now notice Calarco is going to link directly to Calarco right there in my references page. So this is a little piece of my references page here. This is Calarco right there. Perfect. Gives me the author and the date. I can also put this information into a signal phrase. So this is a signal phrase. According to Calarco, 2018. That's a signal phrase. It's kind of like a transition into my source. I might give the credentials of Calarco. I might say, according to Calarco, a professor of psychology at Johns Hopkins University. And then that I might put in there, but I'll put the Calarco and the 2018 is going to go here right after the author. Parents living in poverty are more likely to yield to children's requests for a treat than wealthy parents are. There we go. So again, both 1 and 2 are just different ways of sending me to this citation here. Now this is my references page. If I want, I can find it in the real world. This is guiding me to this references page. Number 3 shows you an example when we do not have an author. Studies using larger samples did not show the same level of effect as the original marshmallow study. Stanford 2020. Stanford is not the name of the publisher, publication, or who did it, the research. Stanford refers to the title, and the title is, again, the first thing you're going to be putting here in your references page. That's it. It's so simple. Having said that, a lot of students have more trouble with this than with their references page. For some strange reason, I'm not quite sure yet. Maybe you could illuminate me why it's so difficult, but it's really simple. You just direct your reader to these. The key thing you got to keep in mind is when I'm reading here, this should guide me very directly to my references page. So for example, as soon as I come to this parentheses, Henry J. Kaiser Family Foundation, 2004, page 1. This is print material, so it's got a page number. And I just know if I'm reading these, I'm going to go Henry. I'm going to go to Henry. I'm going to go to the H's, and I find Henry. Because of the hanging indent, it's real easy to see the Henry jutting out there, and it's very easy to find. Researchers Hoppen and Tavares, 2004. All right, this is going to be an online because it's got no page numbers. But notice Hoppen is going to take me directly to Hoppen right there. So it's crucial that these link up very directly and easily to your references page. So a good in-text citation is going to guide your reader straight, very easy and simply to that references page. It's not going to distract from the reading. Notice in these sentences, if I were reading this, let me go ahead and read this. Obesity can be a devastating problem from both an individual and societal perspective. Obesity puts children at risk for a number of medical complications, including type 2 diabetes, hypertension, sleep apnea, orthopedic problems. And normally people are even just going to skip through this parentheses. Researchers Hoppins and Tavares have noted that obesity is often associated with psychological issues such as depression. You see how it flows? It doesn't have a lot of extra information that's gunking up the reading. It's very simple and smooth and elegant. So it doesn't have a lot of extraneous or unnecessary information. Here are some bad samples. So let's take a look at these and see why they're not good. Researchers have confirmed that parents living in poverty are more likely to yield to the children's request for a treat than wealthy parents are. The Atlantic, 2018. What's wrong with this? Well, my guide is the Atlantic. So when I'm going through a reference page and I see a list of 5, 6, 8 references, I'm skimming through the very first word I see here. And if I don't see the Atlantic, then I'm panicking. I'm saying, well, wait, which source is it? Okay. Now, the only way to find this source is to read every single source. Now, if I've only got one source or 2 sources, it's very easy to find the Atlantic. But if I've got 5, 6, 10 sources, well, I have to read through every single sentence to find that source. You're not being very nice to me. You're not helping me find that, all right? Number 2, according to Calarco, who wrote an article in The Atlantic entitled Why Rich Kids Are So Good at the Marshmallow Test, parents living in poverty are more likely to yield to children's request for a treat than wealthy parents are. All right, so this does have Calarco right there. It has the 2018 back here. It should be up here. But anyway, it does take me to Calarco. But notice how much gunk, how it gunks up the works, slows me down in the reading, okay? Because it tells me all kinds of information I don't need. An article in The Atlantic entitled Why Rich Kids, it tells me everything. I think students use this when they don't know what to put in there. So they just throw everything in there. I'm going to throw everything in there and something will work, right? That doesn't help me much. It's not a very good citation there. Number 3, studies using larger samples did not show the same level of effect as the original marshmallow study at Stanford. Oh, this is actually a good example. I was going to put Wikipedia here. Sorry. Should have put Wikipedia. That's what we don't want. We don't want to put Wikipedia here. This is a good example. This takes me to Stanford. I meant to mess that up. We wouldn't want to put Wikipedia here because again, I'd have to read through the whole source to get to Wikipedia. All right, so these in-text citations are really important. They're very simple. You don't need to be complicated, and they're totally doable. You can also refer to your writer's reference. We'll show you how to do this. Al Purdue will also give you information, but really, hey, Slakey's telling it to you straight. Just give the author and the year of publication, and you're golden. Take care.